Howdy folks, it is Wednesday, May 28th, 1:49 p.m. is the time, and that was the 507 Lakeshore streetcar that just rolled in, and I am here just alongside Lakeshore Boulevard. And that's a look to the east, and there's a number 5 Mississauga bus that'll be heading over to Dixie Road. And the temperature is about 13 degrees Celsius right now. And just off to the west here is the Etobicoke Creek and the border between Mississauga and Toronto. I just did a live stream from Port Credit Go and made my way over to this area. There's another 507 Lakeshore streetcar pulling in. And a 123 Sherway bus pulls in as well. So this is a mini transit hub. And it's worth noting, Long Branch GO Station is just a few minutes in that direction as well, where you could catch a train that heads to Union Station with a frequency of about every 30 minutes or so, which will be 15 minutes at some point in the future, as Metrolinx is overhauling the GO train system. And it's just started to rain. It was raining lightly earlier in the day as well. But for this one, I'm going to be walking west along Lakeshore through a part of Toronto known as Long Branch. There's no shortage of 507 streetcars rolling in. But this is the furthest west any streetcar goes in the system. And hopefully the rain doesn't pick up too much more than this. I'm going to cross over to the south side of the street where there's a bit more retail, at least for the next several blocks. It's been a long time since I've recorded through Long Branch. Several years at least. Wait for the light, there we go. There's an adult video store for customers who have not yet heard of the internet. 2-for-1 pizza. Got Burrito Boys, so the Ken Continuum would be happy in this area. It's an area I think that's been slowly gentrifying over time. This is Brown's Line. You can take that pretty much up to Sherway Mall and the Gardner Expressway. that is 40th Street. So all the streets are numbered. They'll be going down in number as we go west. The Lakeshore streetcar line has been here since the early 20th century. And there was a period, I think from around 1920 to the 1950s, where the Long Branch Amusement Park was in the area, one of the largest of its kind, I think in the entire country even. There's also a big amusement park further east around Sunnyside. This is 39th Street. The last one was 40th. And Lake Ontario is just off in that direction if you want to see what the lake looks like in this area. As we walk past the Loyal Order of Moose, that's been there for as long as I can remember. I used to come into this area as a kid. But if you want to see what the lake is like in this area, you can watch near the end, that's oddly worded. Take a look at the live stream I just recorded, and I walk down Marie Curtis Park to the waterfront near the end of that stream. And this area features a lot of this diagonal parking in front of the stores. So even though Lakeshore is only 2 lanes on each side, it feels a lot wider with the on-street parking. And this is a bit of clever re-engineering. That Tim Hortons cup, if I'm not mistaken, used to be a KFC bucket. So I am walking parallel to the lake. It's cool how they have that streetcar boarding platform on an island there. You don't see that too often when there's not a dedicated right of way for streetcars. As we get to 37th Street. So most of the retail is on the south side here for this stretch. There's a Mr. Sub. This area was established in the late 1800s. I just looked that up as someone asked during my live stream. It was originally a summer resort village for wealthy Torontonians. People would take the train to escape the city and head out by the lake. These days, this area would not be considered escaping the city, as it is now part of the city. Prior to amalgamation in the late 90s, Etobicoke was its own municipality. And my parents used to manage and run a few businesses in this area, so I spent a fair bit of time here as a kid, or at least driving through here. Southside Johnny's Bar and Grill. Dig the name of that place. If I see any lunch specials along the way, I might make a pit stop and have some lunch. I haven't eaten since breakfast. I did a Go Train video out to Port Credit, and I did the live stream, and now we're doing this. It's raining just light enough that I don't need an umbrella. And I think we'll finish up maybe at Kipling Avenue, then I can hop on a Kipling bus and head north up to the station. Perhaps hop on a 507 streetcar and head into the city that way. I really dig these signs, no bicycles on the sidewalk. That's something we need all over the city of Toronto. This development's relatively new. I guess a weekday afternoon might be the quietest time I could have picked to walk through here. There's the Long Branch Social House. I think from where I started, it's only about 2.5 to 3 kilometers or so to Kipling Avenue. Butter chicken combo, $15.99, takeout only. I'll have to pass on that deal. That's relatively new. That used to be a big commercial development up through there. Thank you. I'm not sure why they have crossing guards helping adults. Maybe there's a school in the area. But yeah, there's a big development going in over there, West Shore. Starbucks. This area is a little more spread out and not as built up as I remembered it being. And we need to fire whatever city councillor approved this. I'm of the belief you should have retail or some type of non-residential use facing or fronting the street. Residential from the second floor up, and around back is fine, but at the front on a major street like this, that should be a non-starter. We made it to 33rd Street. Urban Towns coming soon, West Shore at Long Branch. It looks like this place is closed up, or they haven't yet started. Foxy John's. The door says Sloppy Joe's. Let's investigate. Dear customers, it's with a heavy heart we announce our permanent closure of Sloppy Joe's effective Monday, March 3rd. Due to a confidentiality agreement, we weren't able to share this news earlier. That business opened in 1971. They certainly had a good run. There's a public library across the street. Children's Services, the Thomas Berry Early Learning and Child Care Center. There's some art. Welcome to Long Branch. Creativity is like a cupcake. There's another crossing guard. Oh, that Long Branch Animal Clinic here, that's been there for as long as I can remember.
You too.
Cookies, candies, cookies, and more. I really dislike this street parking like this. Poochie cat.
Maybe 1 week, Sunday, 1 week.
Look at this. You have cars that are going to be backing out directly over a painted line masquerading as a bike lane into a lane of active traffic. Sure, it's more efficient than parallel parking. I bet the number of accidents is significantly higher versus a street with more typical street parking. Not that there should ever be street parking on a major street. But this one's certainly wide enough. You could have a protected bike lane and street parking on the other side, acting as a buffer, and then still have your lanes of traffic. Long Branch Baptist Church. So we are at 28th Street. That church across the street over there is something I'll always remember seeing as a kid when we drove through this area. And there was a pool hall right on the corner of that building that had a pretty awesome arcade in it. Often my dad would give me a fistful of quarters and I'd run across the street and go into the arcade in the back. It's that building that says nail, or that unit that says Nail Center. Lakeshore Wings. Petropolis. Domino's. There used to be a place called Greco Pizza and Subs in the area. It's weird walking through an area you used to walk through when you were a kid. Super Burger. And coming back after not seeing it for so long, except for that one time I came here to make a video. That used to be a convenience store, and I remember, so I once bought some spoiled chocolate milk from there and I threw up. I remember my mom went to it with the milk carton, showing them the expiry date. I don't know what the outcome of that was, but it's a little convenience store. Now it looks like a Korean restaurant. Bibimbap. $12. 12 to 2:30. Oh, but it does not appear to be open. Yeah, it is. There's a guy in there. I think I'm gonna do it. All right, I will see you after lunch. Tasty Korea to Japan. Tasty it was. That was a style of bibimbap I don't think I've had in Toronto. At least the way they served it. And it was absolutely delicious and a good value. If I lived in this area, I think I'd be there all the time. And this building here that says for lease, that used to be a bowling alley. It was Long Branch Bowl. They had 10-pin lanes and 5-pin lanes. And a long time ago, the second floor up there was a pool hall. How things change. Although Russell Variety was always here. And there used to be an October convenience store across the street. That Chalet Coin Wash was always there. But where Hasty Market is, I think, used to be in October. There was also a Mother's Pizza. That 7-Eleven was always there. Wow, I was not expecting to have such a great lunch today. There's the bike shop. So we're getting close to the old Psychiatric hospital, which is now a Humber College campus. That's pretty much right where Kipling is. And I'll try to catch a bus and head north up to line 2. I think that's probably my quickest way other than just calling a Lyft, Uber, or Hop. Humber Art Commons. Neat looking space. Humber Fitness Center. I wonder if that's part of the college. That might be the college logo on that building. So we've made it to 22nd Street.
I think what he meant is he's going to save you 20, but that's like him.
Humberbooks.ca, college and university textbooks. I think these students might be from the new Father John Redmond school that used to be located further west of here. I think it moved just in this area, or into this area. And that's all part of Humber College, if I'm not mistaken, on the right. That Monlee's variety has been around forever as well. And it's still just barely raining. I looked up some Long Branch information over lunch. The median age is around 40 years. There's roughly a 1-to-1 male to female ratio. 61% of the residents are married. 38% of the households have children at home, which is slightly below Toronto's 44% average. The largest group of immigrants hail from Poland at 4.8%, the Philippines 3.7%, Ukraine 2.8%. And 88.9% of residents speak only English at home, and 0% speak French primarily. Has a slightly higher than average population density, approximately 5,332 people per square kilometer. And we are approaching the old Lakeshore Psychiatric Hospital as we cross over into New Toronto. It opened as the Mimico Asylum in 1889. It was renovated in the 50s, and it closed as a hospital in 1979. The remaining 280 patients were transferred to other sites. Right now it is Humber College. We also filmed a lot of scenes from Police Academies 1 and 3 here. And you can turn right here and head into Colonel Sam Smith Park. And taking a fantastic view of the skyline. There's the 44 Kipling bus to Lakeshore. And here comes my chariot. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below if you wish to support what I do on YouTube as we look at the old psychiatric hospital. There's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I've got an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button appearing down below if you wish to say thanks that way. Oh, thank you. All right, thanks for watching. Yoink.